The journey of life was never meant to be smooth. It was designed to illuminate our path. We think of life as a smooth sail, but know this: skillful captains learn to navigate the oceans and the seas through storms and the worst of weather. You cannot call yourself a sea captain if the oceans and the seas have never tested you. And so, it was with Aldrich. Aldrich came into this world filled with hope. He had nothing but a small house and his grandmother. And yet that house felt rich because she made him feel like the most special boy alive. Even as a child, Aldrich understood a quiet truth. Poverty is not the absence of money, but the absence of the things money cannot buy. And wherever he went, his grandmother's voice walked beside him.
My child, find what you were meant to do and pour all of yourself into it. No one will hand you greatness. It comes only when you work hard on yourself and your craft. Never underestimate who you are. Always rise above the noise.
These were not just words, they were seeds, and they would keep growing in Aldrich long after that small, warm house was gone. Aldrich was raised by his grandmother alone. His mother had left him for another family when he was only 5 months old. He never hated her for it, but a small ache followed him everywhere.
Grandmother? Who is my mother, really?
As his grandmother grew old and frail, Aldrich was sent to live with distant relatives. He had believed every home carried the same warmth hers did. He was wrong. In that house, Aldrich was looked down upon and made to feel small. His every suggestion was frowned upon, and then repeated back as if it had been theirs.
Aldrich stole my idea.
And it was not only words. They shoved him, jeered at him, made a sport of his smallness. And Aldrich learned to make himself quiet and to hide the hurt where no one could see it.
Look at it, the little nobody. You will scrub our floors and thank us for the privilege. You are nothing, Aldrich. You will always be nothing.
And at night, they gave him a cold cellar to sleep in, where the rats crept out in the dark. He would lie there and hold on to his grandmother's voice like a candle against the cold. This was no ordinary household. It was an ambitious one, a family set on raising one of its own to become a Grand Master of Highland. Year after year, the cousins drilled and sweated at the great skills, each hoping to be the one chosen. And then there was Aldrich. What had cost his cousins years of labor came to him like breathing. He was not the tallest boy in the room, but people felt him, gifted, calm, somehow extraordinary. And the surer he became, the more his cousins burned. There was a princess named Mirelle, and she admired Aldrich more than she let anyone see. Quietly, Aldrich admired her too. But in Highland, the law was iron. A commoner could not love anyone of royal or elite blood. But the law was built on a lie. Mastery was never carried in blood. It was earned by discipline and devotion. And that was exactly what Aldrich did, in secret, seeking out the grandmasters of the kingdom. That quiet hunger caught the eye of a grandmaster named Jasot, who took Aldrich in as his student. For all the coldness of that house, Aldrich never stopped trying to make people smile. And he had one true friend, Quaz, with whom he shared everything, even his secret dream of building a life of his own. To make his own way, Aldrich took a part-time job tending the horses of his mentor, Jasot. He fed on scraps and saved every coin he earned. It was at Quaz's birthday that everything began to change. Mirelle had come as guest of honor, and Aldrich was serving the food. When he set a plate before her, she looked up and gazed at him for the very first time. Something deep stirred in her. Quaz, hoping to draw nearer to the princess himself, kept urging Aldrich to invite her to this gathering and that. But every attempt bent back on him. The more occasions she shared with Aldrich, the deeper she fell, not for Quaz, but for him. It was the quality of the man that did it. His integrity was not because he lacked the chance to do otherwise. It was simply who he was. And so Morel, without his knowing, set out to learn who Aldrich truly was. And what she found was a man of rare quality, the like of which she had never met. From there, Morel began to visit Aldrich in secret, listening to his poems while he calmed the quiet sadness she carried. Both were swept off their feet and built a bond no law had given them permission to build.
Out there, I am a crown to be bartered. But here, with you, I am only Morel. Don't ever let me forget her.
For all the love between them, Aldrich was afraid to look a princess full in the face. He kept his eyes low, sat a little apart, would not even share her plate. For in his heart, he still believed a commoner had no right to her. But Morel would not let him hide. Again and again she bent to find his eyes, determined that he should see her. Then the bold princess did what he never dared. She reached out and took his hands in hers, and that single touch changed everything. The shame loosened its grip, and a new boldness rose in him, the courage, at last, to meet her as an equal. He drew her close, and at last their eyes locked without fear. He kissed her forehead, tenderly, as if she were something sacred. And then Morel lifted her lips to his, and they kissed, deeply, fiercely, two hearts the world had forbidden finally giving in to a love too strong to deny. And one quiet night, behind closed doors, their bond became complete. Two souls the world had forbidden to each other gave themselves wholly to a love neither could deny. But there was a problem, and his name was Quoz. In Highland, there was only one guaranteed path for a commoner to stand beside royal blood: the redemption. It had to be earned twice over, by proving true mastery and by giving the kingdom an innovation so great it could save Highland or set it ahead of every rival. Quoz's family had earned it long ago, so by blood he was free to love a princess.
Of course we're friends, Aldrich, the best of friends.
Aldrich could not read what lay beneath. Apart from his grandmother, he had no one, and in that loneliness he opened his heart to Quoz, never knowing Quoz was using their closeness to draw nearer to Morel. Then came the blow that broke him. Quoz, come searching for his friend, saw them from afar, Aldrich and Morel, lost in a kiss. He had loved Morel in silence, and now he saw the whole truth of it. Something in him shattered. He stopped eating. He shut out the world. And in the dark, this once proud young man sank so low that he began to wish his own life would end. Now, Quoz was the son of Jasoo, the very grandmaster who had taken Aldrich under his wing. And when his boy fell to pieces, Jasoo was terrified for him, until at last Quoz opened up and told him everything.
After everything I did for that boy, is this how he repays me and my family?
At first, Jasoo chose the quiet way. In the dead of night, he sent hard men with hidden blades to find Aldrich and end him, and let no one ever know. But Aldrich was quick, and the night was kind. He slipped their grasp, vanished into the dark, and lived.
So the boy is quick, no matter. Why should I dirty my own hands, when the law itself can be made to do the killing for me?
When the hunters failed, Jasoo turned to a colder, cleverer weapon, the law itself. He reported the secret romance to the royal household, and the law was merciless. Any commoner who loved royalty would be put to death. Aldrich was arrested. Even Quoz turned his back on him. It was the lowest point of his life.
In this journey of life, you must first understand that you walk it alone. And if you ever find someone willing to run beside you, then you are blessed indeed.
Then suddenly, his mind caught fire. There was one other door, not the guaranteed right of the redemption, but a rare and fragile one. An old statute, Section 204, by which a commoner could petition that his own extraordinary gifts justified a bond with royal blood. It would cost a fortune, but a smaller sum could begin the process, and a magistrate's favour could carry the case all the way before the grand royals themselves. For a mind like Aldrich's, it was a real chance. When Jasot learned of the plan, it shook him, for he knew the boy's brilliance. But where the redemption could never be undone, a Section 204 petition could. A Grandmaster could move to dissolve it, so long as no relative stood by the commoner with the coins to keep the motion alive. And not one of Aldrich's relatives would stand for him. Worse, the coins he had saved were gone, seized by Jasot, who had learned where they were hidden, because Aldrich had once told Quaz. All hope seemed lost. All but one, his grandmother. When word reached her of her grandson's fate, she gathered the coins that might save his life and, frail and unwell as she was, set out by carriage for Highland. But she never reached the gates of Highland. At the very border of the kingdom, hooded men sent by Jasot were waiting in the dark. Her loyal driver threw himself at them to buy her a moment and begged her to run. And she ran, this frail, ailing old woman who could barely stand, moving her tired feet as fast as they would go. But her strength gave out, and she sank into the dust of the road, with the men closing in behind her. With the last of her strength, she reached out toward the gates of Highland, toward the grandson she had come to save, for she understood, better than anyone, what would be lost if she failed him. And then her hand went still. When the news reached Aldrich, it broke him to the very core. The light went out of him. He stopped fighting. He pleaded guilty and made peace with the gallows. And that was exactly what Jasot wanted. As Grandmaster, he signed Aldrich's death certificate. Yet here lay a strange mercy. Under Highland law, once such a certificate is signed, the condemned is counted as already dead, and a dead man's name is wiped clean of all wrongdoing. Then came Clarius, Morell's brother. When he learned of Aldrich's fate, and of how tenderly Aldrich had loved and protected his sister, something in him refused to let the boy die. Clarius conspired with the prison to free him through a secret passage known only to the royals. Morell had always known of it, yet had never breathed a word to Aldrich, not from distrust, but from love, sensing how easily Quaz could manipulate it out of him. At the gate, Morell was waiting. The goodbye they had dreaded broke loose. They kissed, fierce and drenched in tears. Two people torn apart with no promise of tomorrow, neither knowing if they would ever see the other again. Through her tears, Morell and her brother pressed into his hands coins, fresh clothes, and a sealed letter to a distant kingdom that owed Clarius a debt, to take Aldrich in and give him every care.
I'm betraying my own blood to set you free. Don't make me a fool, Aldrich. Become someone worthy of her, and come back to finish this.
I came into this world with nothing, and I was treated like filth. And yet, somehow, I met the love of my life. You are my love. Your love is worth carrying and worth fighting for, and I will fight for it, and for my freedom. I am more motivated than ever. I love you, my heartbeat.
Then take my heart with you. It was never the kingdom's to give. I will wait, Aldrich. However long it takes. Come back to me, and come back free.
He would carry her love in his heart, fight for his freedom, and one day come back for her. With one last look, Aldrich turned and won Chasan 6 and went. End of part 1.